It's time for the Wrestling Observer Extra.
I said one more time for old time's sake.
With Dave Meltzer, right here on The Law. Live audio wrestling.
And let's go. We're now smoking with the best.
So many injuries currently going on, and figured we'd start today just with a bit of an injury update. In particular, there's development with Randy Orton. Of course, he was originally out with shoulder surgery, but now I've been reading more about his neck as well. So what's the status of Orton at this point?
Yeah, he needs shoulder surgery, and then he needs, most likely he's going to need neck surgery as well. He's got a neck issue. They don't know how severe it is. It could be minor neck surgery. It could be the same neck surgery that Austin and Benoit and Bob Holly and a lot of those other people got that kept him out for a year. So, but we don't know that. But he's going to have to get the shoulder surgery, recover from the shoulder surgery, and then get the neck surgery. So it could be. He could be out 15 to 17 months.
Wow.
Or a lot less.
More than a year. Wow.
Yeah. Or it could be, maybe 8 or 9 months.
Well, that's a huge amount of time, to lose someone of the caliber of Randy Orton, especially considering all the other people that are currently out. And just briefly, I mean, one of the latest casualties of war in the WWE is Cesaro. Cesaro's status is what, 4 to 6 with the shoulder?
4 to 6, yeah.
And that was a torn rotator cuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so torn. Now, this week on NXT, we, for the first time, saw a vignette about Sami Zayn. How far away from seeing Sami again are we?
Pretty close. I think I don't know if he's going to be wrestling on the UK tour, but he's going on the tour. So he may shoot an angle for his comeback at that TakeOver show, or maybe he's going to be back wrestling. I don't know. He's close to ready to come back.
And Dave, I actually find this curious because Sami Zayn, he had the run on NXT, but ultimately, it's Kevin Owens is the feud that he kind of left off with. I'm surprised, considering the troubles with depth that they're having right now, that they wouldn't just bump him up to, let's continue that feud on the main roster.
They don't think like that. I think that's your answer. Since he hasn't been on the main roster, their feeling is that nobody knows him. And it would take time to get him to the Kevin Owens level, although I think the time it would take would be like one interview. But they don't see things that way, so it sounds like he's going back to NXT for a while.
Yeah,
He's certainly with the depth issue, they could use another star right now, and he can be a star, so it makes sense to bring him to the main roster first and not even bother with NXT. But the vignette was on NXT. It wasn't on Raw.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. One other injury we wanted to talk about, too, Dave. It's not WWE, but AJ Styles appears to be having some problems. He hasn't wrestled the last couple of days in Japan. He's got the big match coming up with Lethal at the Ring of Honor pay-per-view in a couple of weeks. What's the status with AJ?
Yeah, he's got a bad back. I mean, he's had it for several weeks, but it concerns me when he missed the match. Not so much the match today. I mean, if he misses the next couple of days, it doesn't concern me as much as the fact he missed a tournament match.
Yep.
And he's over there for the tournament. And, the mentality in Japan is especially with being in a tag match, that you could have the other guy do 80% of the match.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they just feel that he shouldn't take any bumps at all, so he's resting. And hopefully it clears up. I mean, he rested. He rested. He missed that. He took some time off in the United States before this tour, so he'd be healed up for this tour. I saw his first night, and he was moving great. But maybe that was, the fact he's working every single night, that can wear you down.
Yeah. And I'm sure, Ring of Honor's got to be kind of on tethers with this as well. I mean, that is the main event of this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Him and Lethal.
Oh, just a bit everyone. I mean, he's in the semi-main event at the Tokyo Dome as well.
Yeah. So
him being hurts Ring of Honor and hurts New Japan a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Back to NXT, Dave. There's a report out from your website, of course, you reporting. Wesley Blake arrested for a DUI, refusing to take a breathalyzer. Do we have any more details on this?
Not really. This was months ago.
This wasn't recent.
No. I think this was in the summer.
Oh, okay. I thought this was...
It just came out. ProWrestlingSheet.com broke the story, and Yeah, the only thing notable of this one, and I don't know the answer to this, is if he had told management about it.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling is if he told management about it, then he's fine now because they already know.
Right.
But if he didn't tell management about it and they found out from reading the internet, then that's not a good thing for him right now, especially since it happened months ago.
Yeah, for sure. That's a definite embarrassment there.
Kurt Angle. Let's talk about Kurt Angle, Dave. We keep hearing, TNA keeps saying he's going to be working for them. He's saying he's retiring, taking a year off.
He's under contract till the end of January, so he's working the UK shows, and that'll be it. And then, he says he's not going to be wrestling for a while. He's not calling it a retirement, but he wants to concentrate on acting. I know I think he's got a movie that he's filming in March. So that's the next thing he's doing, and then after that, he'd like to get steady acting work. That's the goal of this year.
Has he kind of given up on trying to get back in the WWE?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't show much interest before, so I think that he kind of has. So, and I don't see him working on the indie scene. He could make money, but, he could make money. But I don't know that he wants to do that style. He could probably do a New Japan big show if he wants to, but my impression is that he's probably going to rest his body for a year.
Mm-hmm. That'd be interesting to see. I don't know if he's got what it takes to be an actor, but I mean, he certainly is talented. I'm just not sure if that's the right route for him.
I don't know either, but he's going to try it out, so we'll see.
You could take a year off and then fight Fedor next year on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, exactly, in Japan,
Or Ken Shamrock, yeah.
That's or Ken Shamrock.
He'll be making regular appearances with Bellator, I think. He seemed to be very, very happy with that deal.
Right.
Let's talk WWE now. Of course, ratings just terrible, just absolutely terrible. And Sheamus, I know you are. I've been listening to you. You're definitely not a fan of this Sheamus turn. What do you do here if you're WWE, Dave? In regards to Sheamus having the title, how do you make your way towards WrestleMania?
Man, first thing I wouldn't have done was put him. I think that putting him with Reigns, unless I just wouldn't have done it. I would have done it at the Royal Rumble. Because I just don't want – I would not book Roman Reigns to keep failing. I just think that it's just not the right thing to do right now. I would have – if it was me, I would book Roman Reigns to win the championship at the Royal Rumble and then book somebody really big, whether it's Cena, Brock Lesnar, or Undertaker to win the Rumble, and that's your WrestleMania championship match. Roman Reigns against one of those three. I can't think of anything else. I think if it's Roman Reigns with some big climactic cage match against Sheamus that he shaves his head if he loses or some crazy stip like that, it's still Sheamus, and I just – everyone's going to know, which is fine, but I don't like it. I think the WrestleMania Championship match should be a bigger match than something involving Sheamus.
How about Triple H, Dave? It seemed like, to me, it seemed like a tease on Monday.
They focused on it too much for it not to be a match at some point. It's possible because Triple H lost, his WrestleMania opponent was going to be Seth Rollins, so he lost his opponent, so... Yeah, it's. I could see that as a possibility for sure. Yeah,
interesting.
And then we were talking earlier on the show. If that's the case, then maybe Undertaker gets paired with Cena, but Lesnar just seems to be up in the air here of someone that is a big enough personality and star to go against Lesnar, who is your key draw right now, really, because he's the one guy that's considered special. Where do you see him in the mix as far as WrestleMania goes?
I don't know. That's been a tough question. I think that maybe the problem with putting him against Reigns is that it'll be the same thing as last year where everyone boos Reigns.
Yep.
At the same time, they also did go without a finish to that match, so you've got that storyline to go through.
And that would have been perfect, Dave, if they had turned Reigns heel.
Yeah, well, they didn't do that, so that's out of the question. But I do think they have had Brock run through everybody. So I do think, and this was the plan for last year, was Roman to beat Brock. I think that even though the people will boo Roman Reigns, the feeling is that they put so much with Brock, and he's the whole idea of that is that at some point he's got to lose, and it's got to be a loss to somebody to get somebody who they really want over. That's Roman Reigns. So I see Roman Reigns beating Brock Lesnar at some point, whether it's going to be WrestleMania or somewhere else, because Brock has to lose to someone that they're really behind completely, to be the if he beat Undertaker, 2 out of 3, the idea is that the guy he loses to is got to be, a guy who they expect to get a big rub from the win. Whether he will or not, that's a different issue. But that was the whole mentality behind the match last year.
It seems to
or
be
this year, actually.
It seems to be a mess, whichever way you look at it. What about Sheamus's run with the title? Does that end at the Rumble?
If it's me, it does. Who knows when it's going to end? I don't see it going past WrestleMania.
Yeah,
but I think WrestleMania is too long. I don't think that he's got it as champion. I don't think that nothing against him, but I don't think that people see him at that level. And I don't know if he beats Roman Reigns. I don't know that that's good for Roman Reigns.
Right, exactly. He gets beat again,
and he may have to. If they're going to do a TLC match, then the idea is that one guy's going to climb the ladder to win. I guess you could have the idea that somebody screws with Roman Reigns and he loses, and then Roman Reigns goes against that guy, and then maybe comes back and wins the Rumble. But I don't think people are going to be happy with Roman Reigns winning the Rumble. That's the other thing, and I wouldn't risk it that way. And the only way he can get the championship match is winning the Rumble, because the winner of the Rumble should get the championship match. So unless the guy who screws him is the guy who wins the Rumble and they have a match where the winner gets the championship match, then there's ways of doing it. But I think that I like the idea of Roman Reigns coming out of the Rumble as champion a lot more than winning the Rumble.
I could very well see, with Undertaker's increased presence this year, a surprise entrant of the Undertaker in the Rumble and getting.
But only if he's going to win.
Yes, that's what I mean. And then he wins and challenges for the championship, which would set you up with Reigns and Taker.
I think that's not a bad idea at all. The thing is, though, is Roman Reigns does have to beat the Undertaker.
Yep.
Undertaker beating Roman Reigns makes no sense at all.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's going to be
do people want to
favored.
see that? Exactly. No one's going to want to see that.
Yeah, I know. So that's why maybe Lesnar fits the bill better. Maybe Lesnar be showing up as a surprise in the Rumble, or probably not a surprise because he's probably going to be booked on the card. I don't see them doing a Rumble and not advertising Brock. But Brock winning the Rumble will get over big, and then Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. It's they did it last year without a finish, so I can see that one. Cena winning would be okay. That's an idea that's okay. Ambrose, just to lose again, I don't see it. I don't see that as a plus, and I don't see anyone. If like I said, the other choice, Daniel Bryan, if he's cleared, yes, he could win. If he's cleared and he's going to be in it, he better win, because whoever wins at that point, they're going to turn on. So that's a tricky one right there.
Well, I think that if Daniel Bryan comes back, that's a no-brainer. But because that would make everyone so happy, the fans would just be so happy. So maybe they won't do it after all. All right, Dave, we are going to take a break, but be back next week with you. What's in the Observer this week?
Probably some stuff on Tommy Gilbert.
Yep.
The rising stuff from Japan, whatever craziness they do this week on Raw. If they can get the rating up a little bit,
they can keep people's interest.
Yeah, TNA. When they're ever going to run another show. Obviously they are January 5th. So the TNA TV situation. So that's some of the stuff.
There you have it. All right, Dave, we look forward to that and look forward to chatting with you again next week at this very same time.
Okay, have a great week.
You too. Dave Meltzer, WrestlingObserver.com is where you can find all his fine work.